National Broadcasting Company presents the National Football League. Today from Cleveland Stadium, it's the Houston Oilers versus the Cleveland Browns. Brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Mazda Cars and Trucks, including the all-new Mazda MPV. And by AT&T, the right choice.
In Cleveland, All-Pro guard Bruce Matthews of the Oilers checked the field conditions yesterday.
Looks great, you know. I'm looking forward to it. This is the way the game's meant to be played. Frozen field. Winner stays in the playoffs. Loser goes home. Now let me thaw my mouth.
When Matthews made those remarks, he didn't know New England would lose to Denver, so the Oilers are in the playoffs right now, but today they're fighting for the home field in the wild card. If Houston wins today, they'll play at home against the Colts if Indianapolis beats Buffalo today, or they'll play at home against the Patriots if the Bills beat the Colts today. For the Cleveland Browns, Houston will play at Cleveland next weekend for the wild card game if Cleveland is the winner today. Oilers with a lot to overcome, a cold weather game for them. They're not used to it. They've not done well on the road. This is their first game in '88 on grass, and maybe the complacency factor, they know they're in the playoffs already. The Cleveland Browns without three of their best players, quarterback Bernie Kosar, running back Kevin Mack, all-pro corner Hanford Dixon, all injured. The replacements Strock, Fontenot, and Harper. Cleveland Stadium's been the site of so many big games and black and white days in television. You see the chill factor down to 8 below. Today, the Oilers and the Browns will be teeing it up in living color on NBC Sports in a most important game. Good afternoon, everyone. Don Crickey with Bob Trumpy. Winter has come full force to Northern Ohio, and the Cleveland Browns couldn't be happier. They like it ugly, as their season has been reduced to this one game. In truth, for Cleveland, the playoffs start today. They have to win. They go in as a wild card if they do on the home field. If they lose, they're out of the playoffs. Coach Schottenheimer is pleased with all that, though, Trump.
Yeah, Don, he told us yesterday, he said, this is the kind of game I like. I put my team in a situation where you go out, all the money's on the table. The winner takes it all home with him, and that's Cleveland's situation. Now, Jerry Glanville, the Houston Oilers coach, of course, they play well and play best in the House of Pain, and he's admitted he has an offense that's designed to play indoors. Well, they are definitely outdoors today in Cleveland.
Yes, they are. They're on grass, although Glanville says it's not really grass, it's painted dirt. But nonetheless, they'll have to contend with gold, and there is Coach Glanville, whose Oilers beat the Browns earlier by a 24-17 score at the Astrodome. Jerry Glanville comes in with a 10-5 team. Marty Schottenheimer's Browns are 9-6. Browns have won the toss, and they will be receiving to start the game.
This is a season for the Cleveland Browns that is below expectations. They've made 6 trips to the playoffs in the 80s. 2 straight trips in the last 2 years to the AFC Championship game, and today they're looking for a spot in the playoffs, and they have a warm weather quarterback replacing Bernie Kosar. Strock, 14 years with the Miami Dolphins, now up here in the cold and winter of Cleveland Municipal Stadium.
This kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers, and ready to kick it off for the Houston Oilers is Tony Zendejas. The Oiler regulars have not, Trump, played a cold weather game since 1985. So we'll see how they respond. They seem pretty optimistic. They were out having snowball fights when they checked in here yesterday.
Don, emotion can absolutely, I should say cold, can absolutely rob a team of emotion. That's why the Houston Oilers must start very quickly so the cold doesn't bother them. I think Cleveland's used to this cold. For the last 6 weeks, they've had weather approaching this in the Cleveland area.
No question. That's what Schottenheimer said. We've been practicing in it and practicing well. Here's Zendejas kicking the ball downfield. Herman Fontenot will run the ball back from his 4-yard line. He's to the 15, break in the channel, and he gets across the 30 and out to the 38-yard line. A break in the kick coverage of the Houston Oilers and a good run back of 34 yards. Don Strock, the 15-year veteran, getting the starting call today with Ernest Byner and Herman Fontenot, his runners. Langhorne and Slaughter are the wide receivers, and the veteran Ozzie Newsome at tight end. There's been criticism of the offensive line, Trump, as you know. They've not pass blocked well in the recent days, and Bernie Kosar went down when he was blitzed Monday night at Miami.
Now there's already a change for the Cleveland Browns. They've got Fontenot and Byner in the backfield, and you see Fontenot, he's split out.
He's a good pass catcher. #1 in receptions on the Browns, Byner, with 54, but this time they go to a run. And tough Ernest Byner takes it right at the Oiler defense and gets out to about the 41-yard line. The Oilers on defense have Ray Childress at left end. Bird and Fuller are the other two defensive linemen. Childress will be going to the Pro Bowl. Linebackers don't get a lot of acclaim, but they've played very well. Meads is a blitzer on the right side. Grimsley having a big year. And the secondary is very sound. Bostic was a first-team All-Pro player last year. He won't make the Pro Bowl, though he was tied for votes this year. But another player goes because of a better team record. That's David Fulcher of the Bengals. So they're good in the secondary, but the footing is bad today for both teams as the handoff goes, and not for much. On a 2nd down and 6 run, Herman Fontenot runs the ball. And he may have lost a yard, Trump, as he was knocked back by the nose tackle, Richard Bird.
And this Houston Oilers defense is very versatile. They use a lot of situation substitution. And for the Cleveland Browns, their task in the opening drive here, hang on to the football. 7 times this season, they have turned the ball over in the opening drive.
So the Browns now have 3rd down coming up. 3rd down and about 5. Don Strock, 6'5", 220 pounds, sets himself in the shotgun. 14 years in Miami. He doesn't love these conditions either.
Now look at that. There are 10 guys within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage for Houston. Blitz coming.
All-out blitz, and he throws against it, but it's intercepted. It is picked off by the Oilers. And it'll be run back by Domingo Bryant across midfield and down to about the 38-yard line of Cleveland. Webster Slaughter, the intended receiver, but a big blitz by the Oilers. Trump and Strock laid it up soft against the blitz.
And Don, that's now 8 games that the Cleveland Browns have turned the ball over in the opening drive. He's trying to avoid the blitz. It was Jeff Donaldson, 31, coming right up the middle. He puts Strock on his back, and there's Jerry Glanville. He's from Perrysburg, Ohio. He's used to this cold. A lot of his players are not. First advantage of the game, obviously, to Houston.
1st and 10 now for the Oilers after the interception by Domingo Bryant, a defensive back from Texas A&M. Straight ahead run, and there's not much there for Mike Rozier as he stuffed Carl Hairston, number 78. Big Daddy and the defensive line made the knockdown. No gain. 2nd down and 10 Oilers. Warren Moon at quarterback. He'll be going to the Pro Bowl. So will his runner Mike Rozier. Drew Hill's another Pro Bowl player, a wide receiver who's already caught 67 passes this season. Excellent offense, and the offensive line has been superb. The 2 best guards maybe in the conference, Munchak and Matthews, both Pro Bowl players. Davis and Steinkühler are the guards, and Kennison's been very effective at center. This team runs the ball over 4 yards at try. Oh, they got nothing on their first carry today. Warren Moon checking off at the line of scrimmage. Here's a blitz against Moon. He eludes it. Looking way downfield, and Warren Moon lets her fly. He makes the connection. Running with the ball is Ernest Givens in the open field. And he's down to the 21-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. So early on, Trump, the Oiler offense takes the Brown crowd out of the game. That was a 16-yard gain.
If you think that Warren Moon is going to be affected by this cold, I want to remind all the fans that Warren Moon was the first professional quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards, and he did it in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Directed the Eskimos to 5 straight Grey Cups. He doesn't like the cold, but he can function in the cold.
I was talking to him yesterday at their limited practice. He said, it's the wind that gets you. You can play in cold, but the wind's the variable that you can't tell what it's going to do to the ball. Winds could be kicking up. Chill factor is 8 degrees below 0 at kickoff. Fumble ball. Warren Moon gets it back on 1st down. It is at the 27-yard line of Cleveland.
Don, it appears to me that Warren Moon simply takes his eye off the ball. Now he's trying to scan coverage as it comes back, Hey, you see, it's off target a little bit, but that's certainly a catchable snap. Pennison didn't do a bad job there, and Pennison is the center. And when you're in the shotgun, some coaches don't like the shotgun because the quarterback must not only look for the football from the center, but also read coverage.
And one of the problems when you're on the road with a shotgun, the home crowd can take you out of it. The Browns couldn't use the shotgun effectively at the Astrodome, and now Moon is up behind his center. The better to hear him call signals. Second down and 14. Here's a handoff. Breaking into open field is Alonzo Highsmith, a 240-pound power back from Miami of Florida. Mike Johnson made the stop for the Cleveland Browns.
And I can't tell you how much pressure there is on this Cleveland Brown defense. This has not been a very high-scoring offense. And Golick, Sims, and Harrison up front. There's an interchangeable defensive line. Matthews going to the Pro Bowl, but it's all on the shoulders of this group today. They got to stop Houston.
Big loss at right corner, where a first-team All-Pro from a season ago, Hanford Dixon, is out today as they're barking in the pound. Trying to get that Cleveland defense to get it back. Cleveland turned it over on its first possession. An interception. Here's Warren Moon on third down. And a drop ball at the 15-yard line. Got it to the wrong side of Ernest Givens as Dave Grayson, a blitzing outside linebacker, number 56, put the heat on Warren Moon, made him trigger it early.
Oh, it was Braggs who came on the blitz. Now you see, coming from the outside, Grayson is 56, but the Cleveland Browns taking a heck of a chance coming up with a fifth defensive back blitz. Stephen Braggs makes Warren Moon throw early.
Here's a field goal try now in this frozen grass field, and Dejas hits it. He's got plenty behind it, and he's right through the middle. So the Oilers go very well early, intercepting the first pass of the day by Don Strock. Domingo Bryant running it back to the Cleveland side of the field, and finally Zendejas converts for points on a 39-yard field goal. The footing is tough, but the Oiler hold and kick were perfect. A buildup of snow at the open end zone here at Cleveland Stadium. The temperatures will be dropping. The lights are on. The field was in fairly good field condition, I think, before the game, wasn't it, Trump? But then as the day wears on, that wind blows, it can freeze up fast. Glenn Young is back deep again now with Herman Fontenot.
Don, the problem with this turf is when you take the tarp off, then it really begins to freeze. It was a little soft yesterday afternoon, but now it's getting as hard as a pool table.
Zendejas hits a high spinner that'll carry short to Fontenot, this time at his 7-yard line. 15 on the 20 with a stutter step. Herman Fontenot from LSU lunges out to the 22-yard line. And the Cleveland Browns offense goes on offense a second time. Dean Biasucci's kicked a field goal in a very important game. The Colts still alive. They are leading the Bills 3-0 in the first quarter. Pittsburgh has gone in front of the Miami Dolphins in one of only 4 games on the final card, the final weekend's card, that don't mean anything as far as the playoffs are concerned.
On so far, initial stages of this football game, emotion solidly on the side of the Houston Oilers. Now, somehow the Cleveland Browns, with a very suspect running game without Kevin McInerney, do have to reestablish 1, control of the line of scrimmage, 2, control of the motion in the game.
Oilers are leading at 3-0 after intercepting Don Strock on his first throw. First and 10. Byner to the run, and those big Oilers up front make the knockdown. You watch the Houston linebackers. They play well off the line of scrimmage. Then at the snap, they run to the ball. Very fast, mobile linebackers.
Johnny Means on the outside. His nickname is Squint Eyes on the team. Everybody on the Oilers has a nickname. Means is that inside blitzer. Fires right inside of Ozzie Newsome, and there to make the tackle for little or no gain.
What a game, Trump. Jerry Glanville described Meads to me as a trained killer.
He's the guy, along with Lyles, that they get most of their blitzing from, outside linebackers.
Derek Tennell is in now as a second tight end. Second down and 10 for the Cleveland Browns. 80,000 at Cleveland Stadium as Don Strock for Bernie Kosar makes a connection, and the ball is taken away. That ball is live. Now they're going to rule it down.
Wait a minute. This is going to be reviewed.
It sure is. Steve Brown looked like he stole the ball before the receiver Webster Slaughter was down.
Could not agree with you more. Now you have the situation of the simultaneous reception, But watch what happens. It looks like the receiver catches it with one hand, and Brown, I think he gets that ball away. That is going to be a very difficult call for the replay official to make. But it did appear that Steve Brown was able to strip that ball away. Glanville will take any decision favoring Houston.
Down by contact, still Cleveland's ball.
You know, we hear that too much. This down by contact is employed a great deal too much now when it comes to the replay. That play was not finished when that ball came loose. And I realize that down on contact replay is not utilized, but that seems to be the comfortable way now to avoid going to the replay. See if we can pick it up again. See it? You can see Slaughter really doesn't have the ball, and I'm telling you that there's no way that's down on contact, but it is the Cleveland Browns' first down of the game.
So the Oilers very nearly have 2 turnovers on the first 2 throws by Don Strock.
Wait a minute, Don, I think they're reviewing it again.
Are they? All right.
I think you've got the referee talking to the umpire right there at the 30-yard line.
This game's could turn early on that. The Houston Oilers have gone in front 3-0 on a 39-yard field goal by Zendejas after the interception by Domingo Bryan.
I think they're looking again. This is the second angle we showed it. Slaughter on the catch. Allen's 24. Now the question is, does he have any control of it when his knees hit the ground?
I think it's going to be one of those. Not enough evidence.
Well, I'd buy that, but this down on contact seems to be the first word in the dictionary.
These Oilers.
He's saying touchdown. Steve Brown took it in for a touchdown.
Coach Glanville hasn't endeared himself to anyone in Cleveland with some of his remarks.
After review by replay, the ruling is incomplete pass. Third down at the 22.
Well, it's not as good as a takeaway, but it's better than a completed pass for the Oilers, and not for Marty Schottenheimer, whose team is off to an early deficit, down 3-0.
I didn't think there was a C in this multiple choice, either ours or theirs or nobody's.
Coach Glanville said the good thing about going to Cleveland to play is that you get to leave when the game's over, and that initiated a barrage of anti-Houston sentiment up here in Cleveland. So the whole thing's getting kind of ugly, but that's really kind of like they like it on a game day like this. Is right now they go to the shotgun, and Don Strock is getting back to his 16-yard line. 4-man rush against him, and he fires hard up the middle and makes the connection to wide receiver Reggie Langhorne out across the 35-yard line. They might rule he was in the grasp of penalty marker. Could be down. There is a marker down front with a holding penalty signaled against the Cleveland Browns. So a big hit on the throw is negated by the penalty.
Is Larry Williams the suspect?
Holding number 70, offense, 10 yards, still third down.
We'll show you Larry Williams, the offensive left guard right here. Now this pass rush of the Houston Oilers is absolutely the #1 thing they're looking for. Hey, you see the stunt inside by big Sean Jones, and Larry Williams has got to put his hand in front of him. So far, Cleveland Browns without a first down.
Browns have won 7 of their last 9 against the Oilers. Houston's regular team has not won here in Cleveland since 1981. The Oilers lead now 3-0 as Strock throws out in the flat. Nice throw and a catch on the run. Flips to Slaughter in open field. Putting moves down, and Slaughter goes down to the 46-yard line of the Oilers, where an extra defensive back, Richard Johnson, finally caught him and knocked him down. Big gain, a 41-yard gain for the Cleveland Browns.
You see him on the outside. Patrick Allen is the man in coverage, and this is zoned by the Houston Oilers. That's a defense that they do not like to play. Even though it appeared Allen was up and bump and run, it was in fact zone. And the Houston Oilers would much prefer to be up there and bothering receivers all over the field. Slaughter turns it into a huge gain. First down for the Browns today.
Biggest catch of the season, too, Trump, for Slaughter.
Reverse.
Yeah, they fake the reverse, and here's a long ball downfield, and it's almost picked up, and there is a marker down in the Houston secondary. Herman Fontenot swinging quickly out of the backfield, going deep for the ball thrown by Strock. Patrick Allen was covering.
That's delay of game.
Delay of game before the snap. Offense, 5 yards, still first down.
Now that's one of the criticisms that Marty Schottenheimer has taken this year, that they've been caught with 9 guys on the field, sometimes with 12. It's my estimation that that's not the head coach's fault. When you have a multiple offense, the players are the ones who have to be aware when this formation requires this group of players. You can keep finding them, but I don't know that you can blame the head coach.
Puts him in a very difficult down and yardage situation. Don Strock played 14 years with the Miami Dolphins. He left that team in August in a contract dispute. They released him. He signed with Cleveland in September, started a game against the Eagles, which the Browns won. In October, it was his first start in 5 years. A lot of the plays are on a band on his left wrist, so he can stay on the same page with the Cleveland offense. As straight ahead, Byner goes on a 1st and 15 play to the 49-yard line of Houston. Don Strock's a winning player, though. He's backed up a lot of good QBs in Miami, like Greasy and Morrill, and most recently Dan Marino. As you look at the scoreboard changing now, Miami's come back to tie the Steelers 7-7. Tampa Bay up on Detroit.
On to this point, Browns getting all their yardage passing. They cannot win this game throwing the ball 50 times today. They have got to generate a running game here.
That was their hope coming in, that they would get the run going. They felt the home crowd would help that because they could hear signals, and perhaps Houston's running game would be off because they could not. Oilers with an early lead, 3-0. A timing pattern. It's intercepted. So Strock is picked off again. This time it's Richard Johnson, an extra defensive back. 6th man in there, and he picks off Strock. So Don Strock is off to an awful start today, and Bernie Kosar's not even in uniform.
Don, it's a 3-step drop, and you see a great job by Johnson cheating to the inside. When Fontenot goes in there, both players have the same opportunity to go for the football. Johnson comes up with the 2nd turnover of the day for Houston.
Cleveland Browns with 2 possessions so far today, and twice Don Strock has been intercepted. As Bernie Kosar, a standout for Cleveland, who missed 6 games earlier in the season with an injury. An injured elbow, is now out with a bad knee, suffered in a loss to Miami last Monday night. Here's Strock after he threw another one away.
Wrong choice. Threw it into coverage. Should never have thrown that ball.
So Warren Moon takes the Oiler offense out again. Here's a swing pass to Rozier. The hard running back from Nebraska is out to the 48-yard line on a 1st down play. He's good for a gain of upwards of 6 yards, maybe 7. Clay Matthews, an all-star outside linebacker, made the stop for the Browns.
That's a very unusual pass by the Houston Oilers. Jerry Glanville's offense, especially the passes down the field. He does not like dump-off passes. He says if we want to dump the ball off, we hand it off. We don't throw it out there. Rozier, their big back, the Houston Oilers.
Oilers are coming out their most impressive performance of the season. Last weekend at the Astrodome, they blasted the Bengals 44-7. Pitch back, running hard is Alan Pinkett, and he gets close to the 1st down. Struck hard as he goes out of bounds by linebacker Mike Johnson, number 59.
Alan Pinkett averaging 4.3 yards a carry this season. But here is the first brother combination to play in the Pro Bowl. 57 Clay, older brother, younger brother Bruce. 74 for the Houston Oilers. Bruce has played all 5 offensive line positions for the Houston Oilers. Finally makes the Pro Bowl at guard.
And he was the leading vote getter of all the American Conference guards. Bruce Matthews. There's Clay, his older brother, going off. Both play collegiately at Southern California. Clay Matthews is going to the Pro Bowl for a 4th time as Warren Moon throws on 3rd and short. Tip ball incomplete. It's 4th down for the Oilers. Mike Johnson, number 59, makes the play again. Inside linebacker from Virginia Tech.
You know, the thing that surprises me is with this bad field, certainly inclement conditions, both teams doing nothing but throwing the football. That was 3rd and about a yard. And the Houston Oilers' choice is to throw it rather than run it.
Greg Montgomery, a rookie punter, a standout from Michigan State, could be trouble today. He's lost 12 pounds in the last week. He had problems with impacted teeth. He's in there to do his best. Gets a low snap, steps into it, hits a knuckleball downfield at the Ice Cube. Gerald McNeil comes up on and fields over the shoulder on the run. And at 145 pounds, in his wisdom, McNeil steps out of bounds rather than take a head-on hit. A 38-yard punt, a 2-yard return, and Don Strock will try to move the team for a third time. He's been intercepted twice. Linebacker Eddie Johnson of the Browns, an imposing presence even without that mask he got from a friend who's a professional wrestler. As right now, the Cleveland Browns 0 for 2 on previous drives, both stopped by interceptions by the Oilers as Don Strock looks to get him going again. He did hit one 41-yard throw. It's this time to give straight up the middle, and the footing might be tough, as these two teams who like to power the ball have had very great difficulty getting off the snap count with their offenses.
But Don, I tell you, the Houston Oilers defensive line standing up, absolutely standing up the offensive line of the Cleveland Browns. There's no holes there for the running backs to run.
Byner has run the ball 4 times for Cleveland. He's gained just 8 yards. Number 44. Big loss for Cleveland as you see the plays on Don Strock's wrist. Kevin Mack, who's been to the Pro Bowl twice in 3 previous NFL seasons for Cleveland, is out.
Eugene Seal is in the ball game. That generally means all-out blitz.
5'8", 245 pounds. Eugene Seal as Strock stands in, throws a strike, but it's lost. Tennell, a tight end from UCLA, couldn't get his hands on the ball. Very highly regarded replacement player who stuck with the Browns when the strike was over. There's Eugene Seal, who was back in pass coverage. That'll bring up 3rd down now for Cleveland.
He tricked him. Eugene Seal, an excellent special teams player. Don Strock, now he appears to know this play on his left arm. You can see all the plays. Not a good start. That plastic cover there has the entire offense of the Cleveland Browns. About 90 plays on it.
Strock is a 56% career passer.
Here they come, Don. Here they come.
And he's 11-6 as a starter as the Oilers show blitz but come with their regular rush. And Strock stands in, throws downfield. He's intercepted again. And Domingo Bryant has his 2nd of the day. He might go the distance. Bryant is in the end zone for an Oiler touchdown. So Don Strock having the worst day of his life on the most important start of his career. A 38-yard return by Domingo Bryant. And the Houston Oilers are really laying it to Cleveland early with their defense.
Don, I don't think Don Strock did a very good job of looking off the free safety. Domingo Bryant standing right back there and watching Don Strock's eyes and just stepped right in front of the pass. And all of a sudden, this is out of control. And Cleveland, I believe, is stuck with Don Strock at quarterback. They are not going to bring this Slayton kid into the ball game. It's Don Strock or
bust.
Or it's the single wing.
They have another quarterback active, Steve Sladen, a rookie from Duke, a 12th round draft choice, who's played not at all. This is in truth a playoff game for Cleveland because they're out if they lose, and right now they're down by 10-0 count. With Bob Trumpy, this is Don Crickey. Tony Zendejas has put up 4 points today, a 39-yard field goal. The extra point after Domingo Bryant just ran back his 2nd interception of the day. This one for a touchdown. And the underdog Oilers lead the Browns, a team that must win today to get to the playoffs, 10-0. Short kick. Up back picks it up. William Dean Perry. That's the little brother, if you can call 280 pounds little, of the refrigerator Perry of Chicago Bear fame.
Now, Don, if you're wondering what's happened, let's identify some players. This is Sean Jones. This is the outside linebacker, Robert Lyles. This is Domingo Bryant. As they start to move, you'll see Jones go out. You'll see Meads go out. It gives a false read, and Domingo Bryant goes back in zone. Don Strock doesn't expect him there and throws the ball right into coverage. The Houston Oilers are doing an excellent job of disguising those coverages, giving Don Strock false reads, and the safety sitting back there just watching the quarterback's eyes to pick it off.
And as Glanville says, Crump, you're never going to see the same defense in front from us twice. The defense changes every play. They want to give the offense everything they can to contend with as Strock swings out a pass now. Screen to Fontenot. A blocker's in front, and he's ahead for maybe a first down. He is close to the 43-yard line where he had to go. The Indianapolis Colts, if Cleveland should lose today, could win their way into the wild card game. They'd play at Houston if they continue to lead and beat Buffalo. Had Leahy just kicked a field goal in the Battle of New York, and the Jets lead the Giants. Miami, coming from 7 behind at Pittsburgh, now leads 10-7.
You know, the responsibility now of Marty Schottenheimer is to reestablish some confidence in Don Strock. Screens are a good idea because he's their guy all day long.
Don Strock intercepted 3 times already today in the first quarter. 4:37 to play in it. It's 10-0 Houston as Byner on a first down carry gets the ball close to the 48-yard line. Outside backer Robert Lyles, a very fast linebacker from TCU, made the stop. Lyles, number 93, was a running back 2 years for the Horned Frogs.
Lyles was the guy who nicknamed the Astrodome the House of Pain after a martial arts school in Michigan. Absolutely. He is one of the absolute stone crazies you'll find in this game. The House of Ice has not bothered Houston to this point.
Not at all. They seem to enjoy it. Well, they might. The 10-0 first quarter lead on the favored Browns. Strock goes to the run. Herman Fontenot does not have a great deal of size. He's quick and fast. But so are those Oiler linebackers as Lyles and Al Smith, 2 of the backers, got him.
Now here's the problem that Cleveland has suffered all year. Without Kevin Mack, they really do not have a great deal of outside speed. Herman Fontenot in the backfield is the ball carrier as you watch Robert Lyles. But Fontenot is really a wide receiver playing back there. I'm rather surprised we've yet to see Manoa as a lead blocker and Byner as a ball carrier, because if they continue to try to throw the ball all day long against Houston, they're going to get killed.
Third down comes up now for the Cleveland Browns. 3 minutes and 5 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Blitz.
Strock with a quick throw and a connection for a first down. And that time the Cleveland offense works nicely as Clarence Weathers, running the slant pattern, gets the lead throw from Strock for the first down. So far there's not a lot of noise in that dog pound.
No barking. Houston that time came with the blitz. Donaldson from right up the middle. You see 31. Strock does a good job. Weathers looks back and he's able to get it off quickly. And that basically is the same play earlier that resulted in an interception.
Ball is positioned at the 43-yard line of Houston. Chill factors 8 degrees below zero at kickoff time. It'll be dropping here on the shores of Lake Erie as winter has come full force to Northern Ohio, and the Cleveland Browns have fallen behind 10-0 in the first quarter, a game that Cleveland must win. Ernest Byner carries the ball. He goes right into Robert Lyles, who made yet another stop, his 5th of this game.
Whoa. Not much. Not much.
No risk offense on the run game, but the pass offense of the Cleveland Browns has been high risk. 3 interceptions of Don Strock in the first quarter. The wind starting up now, and it can get ugly. Second down arises. Second down, a long 7. Fontenot. Not big enough to break tackles, but quick enough to shoot the gap if there's one there. And he gets ahead for maybe 3 yards down to the 36-yard line. The second-year linebacker Al Smith made the stop along with Pro Bowl defensive end Ray Childress, number 79. So now a very big down comes up front for the Cleveland Browns, who have to keep this drive going. Down 10-0, third down and a long 3 coming up.
Well, the most important thing they have to do is not turn the ball over here. They've had 3 drives, 3 interceptions. I think Schottenheimer would be happy if they just don't turn the ball over here. He's almost in a situation where he's got to go for it on 4th down.
Nobody's been able to run today. The Oiler defense has set the tone here, and here's markers down all over. A throw downfield. It hits Brian Brennan right in the face mask as the play was whistled dead before the snap on motion.
Yeah, that's against Houston.
Start number 63.
Whoops.
Offense. 5 yards.
Cody Risen.
Still third down.
Now, I thought that was against the Houston Oilers. There was a lot of jumping at the line of scrimmage. There's a lot of people moving there. We can't really see Cody Rison, but he's the one that gets the flag thrown on him. He's the right tackle, number 63. Look at him right here in the corner. He's the one that apparently moves early and is caught. Yeah, he moves early, and that prompts everybody to jump. So now, big down again for Cleveland.
They're coming up, and the Browns need 9 as they set in the shotgun. McNeil flanks the lower portion of your screen. Strock trying to elude the rush. He cannot, and Don Strock, not highly mobile, is sacked back at the 47-yard line. Johnny Meade, the blitzer from Nicholls State. Came a hunting again, and this time he got the quarterback.
From behind the offense, not good enough protection. Meads jumps inside of Paul Farron, and he's right there in the quarterback's face. You can see all of the sacks that this team has gotten, and a great deal of it comes from stunts and games and faking the blitz and everything else. Sometimes you just have a player that comes scot-free. That time, bad job by Paul Farron as the first quarter ends.
And the Oilers lead at 10-0 as Don Strock in the first quarter was intercepted 3 times, 1 run back for a touchdown, and he was sacked once. Don Cricket with Bob Trumpy back at Cleveland Stadium, where the Oilers have opened up a 10-0 lead over the favored Browns. And Don Strock, Trump, a 15-year veteran, so far has looked like a rookie.
Yeah, you're right. I think the Houston Oilers have done a great job of giving him false reads. He knows the responsibility that he has on his shoulders today. Interesting, Marty Schottenheimer told us on Thursday he threw the ball very, very well in practice. And it's not that he's throwing the ball poorly. It's that he's misreading the defense, which Don Strock is not ever been accused of. He's normally a very smart quarterback. He's normally a quarterback who makes the right read. But today in that first quarter, Houston had his number.
Well, he's got a lot of time to get it back as we are now set to start the second quarter. And back to punt is Max Runager of Cleveland. He's been an experienced big game punter. He's punted in 2 Super Bowls, once for the Eagles and once for the 49ers. Big rush against him. He gets it away. Curtis Duncan lets it roll. It'll take a Cleveland hop as it goes inside the 10-yard line. It'll roll dead right about at the 9. Interesting developments. The Colts continue to lead Buffalo 3-0. The Jets, an underdog, leading the Giants. But Dallas is leading Philadelphia as the Giants and the Eagles are contending for the NFC Eastern title. New Orleans up on Atlanta. Tampa Bay has now extended its lead over Detroit to 14-0. Testaverde's thrown for a touchdown.
Don, this is an absolute key series of downs now for the Cleveland Browns. They've got the Houston Oilers defense down inside the 10. They've got to get the ball back so the offense of the Cleveland Browns has the short field to work with.
John Timer says we've got some of the toughest people in the NFL playing defense, and they dig in now. Here's the snap. Rozier cutting back has a problem. Mike Rozier on a cutback move lost his footing on this frozen field, and the conditions will only get worse as the temperature drops and the wind continues to blow. First quarter numbers. Cleveland had a lot of possession, but so what? More yards. Again, so what? 39-yard interception return by Domingo Bryant was the biggest play of this game. Domingo Bryant, an extra defensive back on passing situations, has 2 interceptions today. Second down and just over 10 for Houston as Givens goes in motion. Mike Rozier is cut down at about the 11-yard line. Alan Pinkett in the game to run that time as Pinkett gets the ball to the 12-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down. 3rd and 8.
First key down now that the Houston Oilers have faced on offense. They do not want to give the Cleveland Browns half a field to work with. In games where the wind is blowing and the field is bad, field position is key.
Browns have turned it over 3 times. You can be sure the Oilers will not have a turnover-free game. It's going to go both ways in this weather and this hitting. Both teams with defenses loaded with knockout hitters. Swing pass. It goes to Rozier, and he breaks 1 tackle, and Rozier takes it out to the 20-yard line. And on a 3rd down and 7 play, the Houston Oilers convert with the screen to Mike Rozier.
Don, I think the best linebacker in the AFC is Clay Matthews, 57. He drops back, recognizes the screen. That's brother Bruce. Just gets a hand on him. Rozier breaks the tackle, leans forward to get the first down. There you see younger brother Bruce, 74. Clay, 57, will play in the Pro Bowl. First time they've been on any team together.
Landville says of Clay Matthews, when you look at the films at Cleveland, he just jumps out at you. There can't be a better outside backer in this conference. Lorenzo White is in the game now. Lorenzo White, the rookie runner from Michigan State, doesn't get much as he gets to the 20-yard line. On a first down carry, he got nothing at all. Mike Junkin made the hit. Glanville said before the game, Trump, that he was probably going to go to Lorenzo White because he's a cold-weather runner, and also he has huge feet, which you need in a frozen field.
Well, watch the sweep coming this way. Mike Junkin, 54. Ernest Givens gets in front of him. Midfield 31 in there to help Mike Johnson, 59. Junkin, the first-round draft pick this year, in there replacing Eddie Johnson.
Lorenzo White has a size 14.5 triple E shoe. So he's well grounded on this tough terrain. Stick, loose ball. Browns might have it. Michael Dean Perry's going in, and the Cleveland Brown defense scores a touchdown.
Moon is still down, Don.
Dave Grayson hit him with an all-out blitz. So the Cleveland defense rises up and strikes as the Oiler defense did earlier with the interception return for a touchdown. We talked about knockout hitters on both teams, and there was the knockout punch by Dave Grayson on quarterback Warren Moon. 14-yard fumble return for a touchdown by rookie Michael Dean Perry.
Somebody totally missed Dave Grayson. Now your offensive line comes from the inside out. The hit will come from right over here. Somebody misses Grayson completely. Your offensive line should count 1, 2, 3. Somebody's got to get on Grayson. Junkin comes from the outside. Grayson is totally untouched, and he hits Warren Moon right in the sternum. That is a busted offensive lineman's assignment. Ends up in 6 points, and the Browns are quickly back in the game.
And 280-pound Michael Dean Perry knows what to do with the ball. When he gets it into the end zone, he goes. The team doctor is still looking at Warren Moon, who was KO'd momentarily with a blitz hit by outside linebacker Dave Grayson of the Browns, and it led directly to a touchdown. Here is Brent Peace, a good young quarterback from Montana. Interesting enough, he quarterbacked here in Cleveland during the strike season last year and put on a great showing, good enough to keep him on the regular roster when the strike ended as the Oilers beat the Browns in that replacement game. It looks like he's going to get called on today. He said yesterday at practice, Trump, he's played in dozens of games in this kind of weather. He's from Montana. The extra point spun up and good by Barr. And so it is now a 10-7 game. The Browns back to within 3 of the Oilers.
Don, watch what happens. You'll see the fullback is supposed to look inside first. He goes outside. You also see the offensive tackle and guard double team, and that lets these two guys go. Grayson has a free shot on Warren Moon, and the bad thing is he not only gets hit in the chest, but he also gets hit right on the hands. His hands were right there. Now, I think he can stand a hit on the chest, but look, he's moving his right hand to see if it... Yes, he's hurt his fingers. That's where Grayson's helmet went right at him.
Having a great year, Warren Moon. He's going to the Pro Bowl, and it looks like he might be back in, Trump, after what could be termed a near total eclipse of the moon. He was almost...
I like it. I like it. Total eclipse of the moon.
He got blistered by Dave Grayson.
Well, they certainly got to straighten out the blocking assignment so that that doesn't happen again, or Cleveland's going to come with it again and come with it often. The report is he'll be back in.
So now momentum has changed dramatically here in cold Cleveland, Ohio, and the 80,000 that jammed Cleveland Stadium are up and jumping, and the dogs are barking as Lorenzo White, Spencer Tillman, and Alan Pinkett are back. Alan Pinkett lets it hop into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20. A couple of bucks with their antlers locked there, going for the face mask. And we have 11:37 to play in the first half.
That may be a new handshake in the NFL. You never know.
Those strange fraternities.
Yes.
Dallas up on Philadelphia still 7-0 in the second quarter. The Jets continue to lead the favored Giants.
Moon back.
Good to see Warren Moon back and set to go. Glanville calls him an analytical student of the game. He might check off at the line of scrimmage more than any quarterback in football. He's got some chest protection on there now.
Well, you certainly expect Cleveland to be blitzing a lot now.
Dogs smell blood at this point. They'll be going for Moon again. First down as he checks off. He's got 2 seconds to get the snap, and he does it just in time. Running with the ball, but not very far, is Alonzo Highsmith. On a first down carry, he may have gotten a yard. Knocked down by Mike Junkin, an inside linebacker, and by 59 Eddie Johnson. Or by Mike Johnson. Eddie Johnson not in the game yet. There's been some question over whether Eddie should be starting ahead of Mike Junkin. Junkin getting the starting call, a former #1 draft choice out of Duke.
Defensive coordinator now, Dave Adolph of Cleveland's found something that's worked. Apply it again and see if Houston can pick it up again. Certainly a passing down here, 2nd and 9.
From the shotgun on 2 and 8. 2nd down and 8. Hard throw, and Ernest Given runs in the open field and bounces off tacklers. And this extraordinary little player from Louisville is all the way downfield across midfield to the 48-yard line. A 31-yard gain on the play.
Frank Minifield, the man in coverage. You can see 81 is out there with Dave Grayson, gets by him. This is zoned by the Cleveland Browns. Givens gets inside 22. Felix Wright. Junkin makes a shot at it. Huge play for the Houston Oilers. Moon comes in. Last time he attempted to pass, he gets hammered. Comes right back in there for a 31-yard pickup.
You see Givens having a big day. Has 56 catches for the season, 5 for touchdowns. Moon's throwing well, 4 of 6 for 62 yards. And ready to put it up on first down. Throw, what a catch by Drew Hill. A phenomenal play by another undersized overachiever, another 5'9" wideout, Drew Hill, with a 14-yard gain.
Drew Hill, with his 3rd straight 1,000-yard receiving season, finally makes a trip to the Pro Bowl. Unbelievable concentration. And Felix Wright led up on him there to avoid interference, but tough catch to make down the middle, up high. He goes and gets it.
And as you know, Trump, he was one of the all-time bargains. The Oilers acquired him from the Rams, Drew Hill, for a 7th-round draft choice. First down throw, and Warren Moon, as he did so many bitter cold days in Edmonton, Alberta, finds the mark. Throwing downfield, this time he goes again to Drew Hill. And Hill is ahead to the 24-yard line of Cleveland. An 8-yard gain on the play.
Ron, you can see that this weather and the field is having no effect on the Houston Oilers whatsoever. Their only mistake was a pass protection mistake, which has nothing to do with the weather. This is a football team that has fun. Houston Oilers love to play, and Jerry Glanville loves to coach, and they like these situations.
Jerry's kids, they call them. Second down and just under 2 yards. Moon looking to pitch it up. Free ball on the field.
Incomplete pass.
Yeah, that's a forward pass. That's right, even though it's underhand. Going to Ernest Givens.
Incomplete forward pass. 3rd down.
Browns went for it, thought they had it. Incomplete forward pass. So that brings up 3rd down and 2.
This is simply a forward pass, whether you throw it overhand or underhand. You see Givens, 81, coming in motion. Michael Dean Perry, 92, the man there. But it's just an incomplete pass. He's saying, what's going on? That's a good day in this weather.
And Warren Moon having a good day, while his counterpart Don Strock has been intercepted 3 times already in the first quarter. 1 return for a touchdown. Rozier banging at tacklers, but the Browns come a hit and get him inside the 30. Very close to the first down, however. Eddie Johnson, 51, was on the stop.
Don, to this point, I think the defensive game plan of the Cleveland Browns, even though they trail 10-7, is working. What they wanted to do is make sure the Houston Oilers could not run the football, force them to throw. Unfortunately, the coverage for the Cleveland Browns defensive backs have not matched the run defense of Cleveland, and that's why Houston's going down the field, and it appears they got another first down.
Very balanced offense for the Oilers.
Even in the weather, 9 rushes, 9 passes. And no turnovers, which is the, I take that back, 1 turnover, which produced the only points for Cleveland.
Well, we talked to Moon yesterday. We asked him the coldest temperature he ever played in. He said -27 in Edmonton. That was without the wind chill.
There's the Dawg Pound.
I said, what was the wind chill? He said, we didn't want to know.
I don't think they even register it in Canada. It's too frightening.
First down and 10 now for the Houston Oilers, who lead this game 10-7 with 7:55 to play in the first half. Big league hits put on at the 11-yard line. Ernest Givens is down.
He's out. He's all right.
Mark Harper, who is starting for All-Pro Hanford Dixon, who's out with a quadricep injury, made the stick, number 23.
Harper had the coverage. You see 23 on Ernest Givens. Felix Wright playing at free safety. This is in a simple end pattern. It's man-to-man. That means you got a free safety, and this is his job.
2 of them got him.
Make the
Felix
receiver
Wright
pay. He's still down, but a tough kid.
Now, while we have a moment, let's go to NFL Live.
All right, Don, as we watch this Jim Kelly pass fall incomplete on 3rd down, we'll tell you that in the climate-controlled atmosphere of the Hoosier Dome, the Colts are stopping the Bills. Eric Dickerson has 62 yards rushing for Indy, and on a 52-yard Dean Biasucci field goal in the first quarter, the Colts lead the Bills 3-0.
Thank you, Bob. Not climate controlled here in Cleveland. It was -8 wind chill at kickoff, 22 degrees temperature with the winds bringing it lower. And it hasn't got any warmer. The sun was out earlier. Now gray overcast skies. The lights have been on. And Ernest Givens is up and okay after he was hit by 2 men. Harper got him first, then Wright. Felix Wright put on that knockout stick. So Givens goes out, and Haywood Jeffries, a former #1 draft choice from North Carolina State, is in the lineup. See the Browns that last play illustrating why they're #1 in the American Conference in Pass D. Alan Pinkett's in the backfield. Line next to Warren Moon in the shotgun. 2nd down and 10. Pinkett, Notre Dame's all-time leading rusher, loses 3 yards.
Again, the run defense excellent for Cleveland. They're doing the job. But when it comes to the pass defense, it's not working. Now, Pinkett has no place to go here. He sees the middles all messed up. Harper, 23 there. People all over the place. 95, Marlon Jones. But this is where the Houston Oilers have been able to convert it. 3rd down and long. They're still getting the ball down the field by the pass.
Warren Moon has passed very effectively. We'll see if he can now. On 3rd down and 12, he'll be pitching from the shotgun. Looks up the middle, fires, it's incomplete. Coming off the flank was Leonard Harris, but he couldn't get to the ball. And so the Oilers send out their field goal kicker, Zendejas, who's tried one and hit it from 39 yards. To open the scoring today, right now it's a 10-7 game. Houston in the lead, Oilers with 10 first quarter points, took a 10-0 lead. Browns came back on a hit by Grayson that freed the ball from Moon, and it was picked up by Michael Dean Perry, Williams' little brother. And he ran it in 12 yards for Cleveland's touchdown. This is a 42-yard attempt. Winds are swirling, but they're not heavy. And Zendejas, a warm weather kicker, doing very well in the cold at Cleveland, drills it from 42. And the Oilers challenge now extend their lead to 13-7, and they'll kick off in a moment. Hanford Dixon without the helmet on, a first-team All-Pro cornerback the last 2 years, and a Pro Bowl player again this year, out with a quadricep injury. Warren Moon has been attacking that area. Harper's in to replace him as Zendejas, who just hit his second field goal, kicks off short. Patno on a run from his 20. Man, these people pop as the ball is out to about the 28.
All right, let me tell you, this Houston Oilers football team with their special teams are extraordinary. Jets extend their lead over the Giants.
Now Philadelphia comes back. They would take the division if they win at Dallas and the Giants lose to the Jets. This is the Jets playoff game. They try for a winning record. Miami and Pittsburgh scoring in the cold at Three River Stadium. Tampa Bay continues to lead Detroit. Easy to get a higher draft pick. First and 10 for Strock and the Browns, who are down by 6. Byner, they just can't get off the ball front. Nobody's firing out. They're not able to as Richard Byrd moved quickly. John Grimsby, 59, inside linebacker, made the stop.
They're getting no movement on that line. Here's Fontenot, 28. He's trying to block on Johnny Means. That's kind of a fall down. But if you can't run the ball on a day like today, you are in deep trouble. The Cleveland Browns can't rely on their defense to score all the points. Browns have to generate some kind of offense, and they can't be doing it with 2nd down and 10s and 3rd down and 9s.
Hoghead gets like a rock on a day like this. Tough to catch those hard thrown balls as Don Strock, who's a tough passer, and a have to throw now. 2nd and 10 results in a 4-yard loss. Fontenot has been able to do nothing against this Houston defense. Richard Byrd, the nose tackle from Southern Mississippi, made the play.
And he's beating Rakosi, the center. Greg Rakosi is, there's Byrd right there. They are controlling the line of scrimmage. Browns now 11 carries, 16 yards.
A lot of people, Trump, feel the biggest shortcoming in the Cleveland offense is that Rakosi's not yet ready to play as well as he's going to Sunday. He's going to be a good one, but he's not as good as Mike Babb, who the Browns traded to New England. Strock on 3rd down, throws downfield. He's not close to a receiver. He was close to a defender, though, for the Houston Oilers. Ryan Brennan was about 5 yards beyond the ball. Bostic was the closest to it.
You just mentioned Greg Rakosi, the center. You see the outside linebacker Robert Lyles right there. There's a spin move by Sean Jones, and Rakosi along with Larry Williams. Good job in double teaming, though Jones still gets to Don Strock.
Curtis Duncan's back now for the Oilers, and he could give them very good field position depending on this punt by Runiger of the Browns with 5:07 to play first half. High punt, well hit. Duncan was stuck before the ball got there by Harper. A poorly timed strike, and that'll cost the Browns. Don Strock so far in the game has thrown the ball 9 times, has completed 3 to the Cleveland players and 3 to the Oilers.
This is being a little overzealous here. You see the receiver sitting there waiting for it. Harper puts his head down. That's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. That's 15 yards. Harper was the man who hit him.
Interference with the opportunity to make a fair catch. 23, 16, 15 yards, first down.
Not that bad a penalty for the foul.
He put his head down, and that was his mistake.
So another Oiler is at 10-2, and there's a break in the action.
This is a punt returner's worst nightmare. Harper, 23, puts his head down, and he doesn't realize that Duncan doesn't have the football. Duncan is shot to the solar plexus. He's up on the sideline. Harper back on the field. And now the Houston Oilers start inside the 50, the Cleveland side of the 50.
You know, Trump, Jerry Glanville has maintained all along that Warren Moon's the best quarterback in football this year. He's certainly been the best quarterback today. Glanville said, don't give me stats to show me who's the best quarterback. Let me see the winning numbers, and he's a winner.
He's a tough kid, too. Yeah. Glanville probably unique in the NFL in that he calls all of the offensive plays. During the week, he designs the defense, and on Sunday, he calls the offensive plays.
I bet there's never been anybody who's done that before. Maybe in the years when he was one head coach and 2 assistants. That was a while back. Here's a handoff straight ahead. Rozier powers his way inside the 45-yard line on a first down carry. The gain is good for about 3 yards as Marlon Jones, a former all-CFL player in Canada, made the stop for Cleveland. Moon was not drafted out of the University of Washington, as Oiler fans are well aware. Then he went to Canada, was the best thing that ever hit that league. You pointed out Trump 5 straight Grey Cup victories for the Edmonton Eskimos with him at quarterback. Came to the Oilers as a free agent in a multi-million-dollar deal. He's gotten better. He's surrounded by some excellent personnel as he stands in and throws and makes a connection to Drew Hill. And that fleet little receiver from Georgia Tech again dances downfield, not out of bounds, inside the 30.
Stephen Braggs was the closest man in coverage. Ends up being a 16-yard gain, and Braggs slipped a little bit. That allowed Drew Hill to be open.
Jim Kelly just threw to Andre Reed as the Bills go ahead of Indianapolis. That game of great importance to the Cincinnati Bengals, who are watching this after their great comeback win yesterday. If Buffalo loses, the Bengals would have home field through the playoffs. If the Bills win, they'd have it.
Into the play. Doesn't take much for these 2 longtime rivals to start a pushing and shoving match.
Rozier only has 3 yards on 4 carries. It's been Warren Moon's right arm that's been the difference. Another connection down to Alonzo Highsmith, and he pulls his way down to the 9-yard line. A gain of 16 yards and a first down as Warren Moon continues to find the mark on this cold day.
And you know, last week when Cleveland went to Miami and Dan Marino produced 404 yards passing against the #1 pass defense in the league, they were worried coming into this game, but didn't think that the Houston Oilers could throw the ball at will against this pass defense, and that's in fact exactly what they've done. Now 8 of 13 for Moon, 117 yards.
I'll tell you who's up and pacing the room somewhere in the greater Boston area is Raymond Berry. His Patriots could get in the playoffs depending on the outcome of these games. If Cleveland loses and Buffalo wins, the Patriots go to Houston. It's really too complicated to go into in great detail for this.
I like reading.
I'm not from MIT.
I like reading the paper tomorrow. They'll tell me where we'll be. Rozier not producing much running yardage. He was their big running back to this point. Needs just 15 yards for 1,000 in the season.
2 minutes and 43 seconds to play in the first half. 13-3, the Oilers lead, and they're challenging again. Their first touchdown on an interception return. Wide open in the end zone. Going for the ball was Leonard Harris.
Oh, he had a couple open, Don.
A Red Raider from Texas Tech made a diving try, but he couldn't get to the ball. Well, he got to it, but he couldn't hold it.
He had a couple of guys open. He had his choice, but he was apparently locked on. Leonard Harris. Don, there are receivers open all over the field, watching the end zone. Look at that. Look how open he is. Brian Washington, 48, overruns the coverage. If Moon can get it to him, it's an easy score. There's nobody close. Snowballs coming from the Dawg Pound.
This is not an easy end of the field for a visiting team to compete in. Snowballs are flying in there. Here's another throw and a catch. Alan Pinkett dances down to the goal line. He's not in, but he's so close. A third down play, and the ball is inches from the goal line on a 3rd and goal.
We got a flag too, Don. Pass
against the Oilers.
Yeah.
An illegal pick.
That looked like a pick.
Those Brown fans are doing all they can to help.
Interference, number 85, offense, 10 yards, still 3rd down.
It's the first thing wrong he's done in a long time. Drew Hill.
Sometimes you have to be an actor. When you're down on the goal line, you can see him smiling. He said, you know, I got caught. Sometimes it's designed for you to run a pick. but you got to fall down, you got to trip, you got to do anything you possibly can to try to fool the officials. That time he got caught. Pinkett is wide open out in the flat.
This is tough. So now we have 3rd down and 17 coming out. High ball, man is out there, but there's too much on it for Haywood Jeffries as we lose him and the defender in a bank of. And the man is taken out. The photographer, somebody.
He got nailed. Will Hill was the man in coverage, and that gentleman.
Jeffries is also down.
That's not a pile of snow.
It's like the Crimean War out there. Bodies all over the snow today.
That's not snow. That is a hill right there. And Jeffries is working on Will Hill. Ball put up. See if we can see the gentleman in the corner. Got a camera in his hand.
Got him twice. I think that was a local Cleveland or Houston cameraman who's being attended to.
Now we got some idiots from the Dawg Pound throwing snowballs down there. You can see them.
People can get rambunctious on a cold day like this. Some will have a cocktail even up in that pound.
Yeah, that group mentality can turn you into a convict in a minute. We're going to try a field goal, but
Art Modell next to us, the Cleveland owner, is just telling one of his associates to announce that anybody caught throwing a snowball is out of this ballpark immediately. He's out cold, in the cold.
It looks like his eyes were open and his.
Man.
Look at there. Look at that fool. Can you believe that? Throwing a snowball down at a guy injured on the field.
Most of the snowballs have been directed at the Oilers. These Oilers they don't back off either. After they went out in front 10-0, some of those Oilers were down on the subsequent kickoff team, holding a hand to their ear like, come on, let's hear the barking now.
Well, if there is one saving grace, place to get hurt is at a football stadium. Art just made the announcement that you'll be thrown out if you throw a snowball. I say if you're going to get hurt at a football game. They have x-ray machines here. They have EMT units. They've got doctors on both sides of the field. Us common folk not used to contact like that.
Game clock is stopped with 2 minutes and 21 seconds left to play in the first half. The Houston Oilers, the underdog, who are playing for home field advantage in the American Conference in the wild card game, are leading 13-7. At halftime at Indianapolis, the Bills on that touchdown pass by Kelly to Reed have come from behind and lead the Colts 7-3. The Jets continue to lead the Giants 13-0. The Eagles with a 3-point lead at Dallas, as the Eagles could be in position to win the NFC East. In those games, not of significance from a playoff standpoint, although New Orleans could get in, although they're still a long shot. They're still alive, but a long shot in the NFC as a wild card team. Now the Houston doctors, and they're waving out for a stretcher. Doctor, that man waving his hand with the turtleneck sweater on, is one of the physicians from the Houston Oilers. Coming up is college football's national championship weekend on NBC Sports. To lead off the big day, Syracuse meets LSU in the Hall of Fame Bowl. Then the Fiesta Bowl features a battle of the nation's only unbeaten teams when #1 Notre Dame takes on #3 West Virginia. And the day concludes with the primetime extravaganza of the Orange Bowl, when #2 Miami of Florida takes on the 5th-ranked Huskers of Nebraska. Championship Monday, numbers 1, 2, and 3 are only on NBC.
I certainly hope the best for that young man that's hurt down there on the sideline. But do you remember a movie that was based here in Cleveland Municipal Stadium? A movie called The
2:21 to play in the first half. The underdog Oilers are in the lead by a 13-7 score. Now the injured cameraman being taken from the field.
To repeat, that is not a bank of snow that he banged into there. That's This has been a horrible year for the Cleveland area. They were within 96 yards of a trip to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. They were within a fumble of going to the Super Bowl last year. And 9-6 in 1988 has turned a lot of believers over the last several years into a lot of disbelievers in 1988 here in Cleveland.
Mike Pagel, one of the quarterbacks of the Cleveland Browns, he's been injured much of the year. Various times the Browns have lost 3 quarterbacks. Their top running back Mack and an all-pro corner in Hanford Dixon. There's the best quarterback, Bernie Kosar, that Cleveland has, and he's out with that knee injury. Tried to work this week, couldn't go. It's really a day-to-day basis whether or not he'd play in a wild card game if Cleveland's in it. See where the Browns are without Bernie Kosar and with him.
Bernie seems to make a difference in this team, doesn't he? Cleveland's won 4 games in a row here at home.
The Browns are looking to make the playoffs for a 4th consecutive year, but they have some coming from behind to do here. With 2:21 to play in the first half, the underdog Oilers are in the lead by a 13-7 score. Now the injured 2 yards. This is a 36-yarder. Brent Peace is the holder, and he and the snapper are just as important as the ball is on the way and good again. Oilers teeing it up for the 2nd time this season. If Cleveland can come back to win, they would play a 3rd time in the wild card game here in Cleveland next Saturday. Rendejas hits it in the cold down to the 9-yard line, and Fontenot runs back another one for Cleveland. Out to the 25-yard line where it's 1st and 10.
These special teams of the Houston Oilers, often the group that sets the emotion for the game. It's referred to by their coach as hit the beach. Eugene Seal is the star of these special teams.
Terrific.
They award an Army helmet.
They were wearing it on the field before the game.
They take a lap. It is an honor that Houston Oilers players, starting players, are asking the special teams coach, Richard Smith, how do I get on these special teams? I want that helmet.
Eugene Seal's the guy you got to root for. He was picked up last year. He was working construction down in Texas. Picked up as a replacement player. He was just sensational. The replacement team. He's been the same for the regular team. His teammates all say he should be in the Pro Bowl as the special teams player. As the game winds down to the 2-minute warning. And the Cleveland Browns again go to the run, and again, and not for very much, as the Oilers cold but happy at this point in the game. Oilers in command at this point, leading 16-7. As you know, they call the Astrodome the House of Pain. Some people referring to this Trump as the House of Frozen Rain, as we've got a lot of it around the field.
Houston certainly not convinced. Playing very well.
They really are.
Strock has 6 completions. 3 for him, 3 for them. That's the difference in the game.
1 TD throw from that standpoint, but it was to Domingo Bryant, who plays for the Oilers. Don Strock has won a lot of games in his career. He's 11-6 as a starter, but he's come off the bench so many times in his 15 years to win games. He almost won one Monday night against the Dolphins. It's 7-11, 2 for touchdowns. Throwing a catch downfield to Langhorne, very close to a 1st down.
2-minute offense. They need points here for a little psychological boost down, and they need points bad.
Strock will be pitching for the final minute 40 to go in the first half. The Oilers in the lead. 16-7. Here's a long ball thrown. A man is open, but Slaughter drops the ball. An excellent throw by Don Strock. He really put some pop on that throw and had it right on the hands of Webster Slaughter, who lost it on this cold day.
Slaughter, bottom of the screen, runs the little in. Patrick Allen is the man in coverage. But just after he catches it, there you see the bobble. And then he sees Jeff Donaldson.
Might have been a footstep foul. That Jeff Donaldson will pop you. He is a tremendous safety, free safety for the Oilers. Both are safety. Donaldson and Bostic. Fontenot back in the backfield. He'll be swinging out to catch a pass now on 2nd down and 10. As Strock takes a look, he goes to Fontenot. He catches at the 41, trying to turn upfield. He's going to go for a 1st down, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:24 to play. So Fontenot is Strock's man coming out of the backfield.
Looks like he hit his arm on the yard marker.
We've had a lot of injured troops today.
When he came to the sideline, it appeared that they could not get the yard marker down fast enough, and it appeared that he hit the yard marker. 1st down, Cleveland. The drive remains alive. Let's see if we can see what happens when he's driven out of bounds. And he lands right on the yard marker. And his elbow, of course.
1st down and 10 now from the shotgun as Don Strock with 1:24 left on the 1st half clock. Stands in, Meade's coming on the blitz. Free ball up in the air, and it is almost picked off. It is incomplete at the 49-yard line. Sean Jones, a huge pass rusher, and William Fuller putting the pressure on.
William Fuller got his hand on the ball, and Sean Jones was right in the face of Don Strock.
Schottenheimer, as he mentioned to us yesterday, Trump, Sean Jones has really changed their whole pass defense. He puts so much consistent pressure on the quarterback.
And you can't double team him.
Huge ex-Raider, born in Kingston, Jamaica. An off-season stockbroker in Southern California, and an excellent pass rusher. Strock got it back, but on 2nd down and 10, he lost 3, and that brings up 3rd and 13.
Now, Don, it's interesting. Riccozzi, the center, did not snap the shotgun when he was at Miami. Halfway through this season, they put in the shotgun. He's not snapped it particularly well, but that time it looked like Strock took his eye off the ball. We'll look at this snap once again. Riccozzi puts it to Strock's right, and it looks like Strock is trying to go back to his left. He does a good job of recovering it. Basically wastes it down, though. Makes it 3rd down and about 12, but that's a bad snap. You need it right in the center of that quarterback so he can catch it easily and scan the defense.
Mentioned earlier, the Oiler regulars have not won here in Cleveland since 1981. They play here every year. They missed the appearance here last year because of the strike season. The Oiler replacement team did win as a downfield throw is a connection to Clarence Weathers. He's a rather amazing story. Clarence Weathers, his brother was a high draft choice of the Patriots. He came up to visit him and started catching balls on the sideline at a New England practice, and somebody said, this guy's pretty good, let's work him out. Didn't he make the team? His brother's out of the league, and this guy's doing well.
That was Steve Brown in coverage, and that was a well-thrown pass by Don Strock. The Browns can erase a lot of ills in this 1st half if they get points here, Don.
Strock has moved them nicely now. 68 ticks left in the 2nd quarter. Fontenot, they go to the draw, and they get some big yards as Fontenot's down inside the 25-yard line. Browns quickly get a timeout. They used only 7 seconds.
Well read by the offense there. You can see the defense comes with a lot of extra defensive backs, and there is no middle linebacker. Good blocking up front. First guy that gets to him is Domingo Bryant, and then Fuller comes from the defensive end spot to make the tackle.
Fontenot, an excellent player in the open field. He's not the tackle breaker that Kevin Mack is, who's out of the game with an injury. Fontenot on that draw play just ripped off a 17-yard gain down to the 24-yard line.
It doesn't take a lot for the emotion in a football game to change, and points on this drive at the end of the 1st half can't help.
At halftime, we'll be going to NFL Live. Frank DeFord will check out the left-handers, the wrong armers. And the scores and highlights on week 16. It was interesting going into the final 14 games on the final weekend. 10 of them had playoff implications. Only 4 had no bearing. The injured cameraman earlier is from Erie, Pennsylvania. Mike Gallagher. He was taken to a local hospital where he's reported to be conscious and alert. So we'll hope that Mike's all right. Hardest hit of this day. Well, we thought it was on Warren Moon. It might have been on a cameraman. 61 seconds left in the first half. Cleveland trying to get in the end zone. Out pattern, too much on it. Langhorne couldn't get to the ball.
Trying to throw it over Sean Jones. Jones at about 6'8". That's a hard ball to get over his head.
Bills and Colts now in the third quarter. The Giants scored before halftime, down by 6 to the Jets, and the Eagles holding to a 3-point lead over the Cowboys at halftime at Texas Stadium. Giants and Eagles contending for the NFC Eastern title. Pittsburgh and Miami enjoying the cold apparently in Pittsburgh. Lots of points up there. 37 in the first half. This is the 10th play of the Cleveland drive with 57 seconds left to go in the half. Oilers lead 16-7. Out pattern. Throw and a catch. Langhorne dives out of bounds. Reggie Langhorne run out of bounds by Steve Brown with 51 seconds to play, and the Browns get closer.
Don, one thing Cleveland's done very well in this closing drive in the first half is get patterns open on the sideline, stop the clock, save that last time out as best you possibly can. But of course now Houston is going to realize that too. Weathers comes to the sideline, and it looks like he did something to his arm. He's over there shaking it a little bit. Gerald McNeil comes in the ball game, but you want to try to save that last time out. They got to get the first down. That's the #1 priority here.
Don Strock came out of Virginia Tech as a 5th-round draft choice in Miami in 1973. There are still 2 quarterbacks in that 73 draft in the league. Joe Ferguson the other, as the Browns strike again with 43 seconds left. They're down close now. Clock running. And now we have the timeout signal with 35 seconds left.
Houston takes a timeout. Houston takes a timeout. Big break, Cleveland.
Injured Oiler out there, Trump. Bostic, the safety, shaken up.
The Houston Oilers have gone with the prevent. They've not come with the blitz. They've given up the short yards and hope that the clock eats up the Cleveland Browns before they get down in scoring position. But this by far the best performance of this Cleveland Brown offense in the first half.
See Don Strock's passing numbers picking up. Those 3 interceptions still haunting him, though, all in the first quarter. 1 return for a touchdown.
This is a key play here. This first down play. It's 1st and goal just inside the 10. Don, I think you almost have to give it a couple of 3 shots in the end zone. But remember, Don Strock already has 3 interceptions.
Shotgun set with 35 seconds to play. 1st and goal for the Cleveland Browns, who trail 16-7. Another throw and a catch, and out of bounds inside the 5-yard line is the sure-handed Brian Brennan. As Johnny Meade made the push out of bounds, but Brennan gets it close, and there's still 30 seconds left.
Meade's the linebacker in coverage. He simply runs a drag, gets the yardage he can, and steps out of bounds to stop the clock. Now Ozzie Newsome comes into the ball game. Yet to have a reception, he has a streak of games going here with receptions. Certainly in jeopardy.
Marked at the 6, 2nd down and goal from there, as the Oilers are going to be coming on a blitz. Here it comes, full force. The Browns pick it up nicely, and Strock throws. It's incomplete in the end zone. And that brings up 3rd down and goal for Cleveland with, as you see, 24 seconds to play in the first half.
Now, Donnie, here I think is the problem where Don Strock really has, not knowing this offense that well. He's been here 12 weeks. And when you have only been with an offense for 12 weeks, you get locked on to the primary side of the field. You're not really sure what the other side of the field is doing. Strock was in Miami for 14 years, and in some instances, he must translate Cleveland plays into Miami plays in order to put his mind right as to where the priorities lie.
Probably not an easy thing to do with 80,000 people screaming and the Oiler defense coming at you. 3rd down and goal. Just change the play. Timing pattern. Intercepted. It was knocked away. Bostic is on the run. And the Oilers take it back. And they have it at the 45-yard line of Houston. And now a penalty marker comes in, but the ball was knocked free from Strock. He doesn't know what happened.
He's saying his arm was going forward.
Well, we'll be looking at this.
But Bostic came up with it. Houston came with the blitz.
Ball, the way it looks from here.
He was in a hurry here because the 30-second clock was just about to expire. There you see Bostic in the back.
He lost it. Fell out of his hand.
That's an incomplete. That's going to be a fumble recovery. No question about it. That is a fumble recovery. If we can go back to the point where the ball slips out of his hand.
Replay is reviewing the play.
It looked, Trump, like he was not hit, that it just slipped out of his hand.
And the question is, was the arm going forward?
I think he lost it before it went forward.
Arm going forward. No way. That's a fumble.
He just,
when he was taking it up, when he was getting it up there, getting ready to throw.
Bostic actually gets it here in the one bounce, I think. I think he slapped it on the ground.
Second pump. You know, I'm not so sure that he didn't hit Ernest Byner's shoulder pad. I do believe the replay is going to have the fumble stand.
The play stands as ruled. It was a fumble by the quarterback. Reclaimed by Houston. Houston then fumbled. We brought the ball back to the spot of the fumble by the 2-minute fumble rule. First down, Houston.
So this nightmare by the lake continues for Don Strock. Intercepted 3 times, and then with his team in almost point-blank range to at least get a field goal. They had a 3rd down and goal coming up in the 6th. He loses the handle and the ball, and the Oilers get yet a 4th turnover from Strock.
And I'll tell you what, Marty Schottenheimer's got a real sales job to do in his football team at halftime. The one turnover by the Oilers produced 7 points for the Cleveland Browns, the only points of the day. He's got to really get out his Gipper speech today.
Amazing turn of events as this opportunistic Oiler defense pounces again. Norton Moore's going to go for some before it's over. Alan Pinkett runs it across the 40. And Pinkett is all the way out to almost midfield. He got a first down with 2 seconds left, and that'll do it. Now the Oilers call a timeout. Moon might let her rip deep.
Why not? Now Jerry's saying no.